here to talk some trash. Thank you so much to the Ann Arbor Summerfest for giving us this opportunity to join you this summer in our new format. When I say talking trash, I mean that stuff that you throw away when you no longer have a use for it. Sadly, it doesn't just go poof to an away place, it goes to the landfill most likely. Landfills are places where all those materials sit and mingle for usually hundreds of years, so they can get mixed up with insect-killing chemicals, they can get mixed up with lead paint. That liquid that all gets mixed up can leak into our groundwater and contaminate the water that we drink. It can also contribute to climate change by creating greenhouse gases like methane. So what to do about that? I don't want more things to go to our landfill. I want us to live in a community that's sustainable and thinks hard about its resource use. So here's our challenge for you. Ann Arbor, we want you to create less waste this year. Let's send less stuff to the landfill. How do we do that? To send less materials to the landfill, we need to use the 3 R's: reduce, reuse, recycle. Reduce is the most earth-friendly strategy of all. For example, instead of using a paper lunch bag, which eventually has to be disposed of, we can take our lunch to work or school in a durable container like a metal lunchbox or a durable plastic lunch bag. When we reduce, we don't need to figure out where to throw the paper lunch bag because we didn't need to buy it in the first place. It can stay in the forest as a tree. To continue the lunch example, to reuse would be to repurpose another bag we already have. For example, a bag that once held bread to carry our lunches. Did you know that 40% of what's found in the landfill could be composted instead? That means that, properly placed, these items could become soil again. Here in Ann Arbor, you can get a compost curb cart by calling 734-794-6320 or emailing customerservice@a2gov.org. Compost carts are really great. You can put your yard clippings in there and they will be picked up and made into new soil. Also, all of your plate scrapings, anything that was organic that you might have eaten, can also go into your curb cart. This is a great way to reduce your waste. I know at my house, when we started composting, we stopped taking out the trash nearly as often because it doesn't smell anymore. All the things that are gonna break down and make your trash stinky are going into your compost. Back to our 3 R's, we're to recycling. Recycling is the process that nature uses every day. For example, every breath of oxygen we breathe has been breathed many times before. As we breathe it out as carbon dioxide, trees and other plants use it and return it to us again as oxygen. If it weren't for this recycling process, our planet would have run out of oxygen long ago. In many cases, after you've done your work of reducing, reusing, deciding whether or not it can be composted, recycling is our alternative to the landfill. Beverage containers, glass bottles and jars, and old newspapers and magazines are all examples of materials we can recycle. Many communities, including Ann Arbor, have spent decades building systems where recyclables are collected, processed, and then sold to industry, which makes them into new products. Old cardboard boxes, for example, can be shredded and used as material for making new boxes. Today, many people are confused about what can be recycled curbside. They might even believe that items they put in the recycling wind up in the landfill. Another thing that has many people confused, what exactly can I put in the recycling cart? Because Ann Arbor Summer Festival takes place in Ann Arbor, we're focusing on the rules for recycling in Ann Arbor. If you live outside of Ann Arbor, your community may have different rules, so be sure to check. To answer our questions about some of this, we have 2 experts who are joining us. Brian Weinert of Recycle Ann Arbor and Jennifer Petoskey from the City of Ann Arbor. I'm gonna let them introduce themselves.
Hi, my name is Brian Weinert. I'm the Director of Strategy at Recycle Ann Arbor. We're the folks that provide curbside collection service in the City of Ann Arbor, operate the drop-off station, the recovery yard for construction and demolition waste out on Jackson Road, and transfer the city's recyclables for processing.
Hi, I'm Jenny Petoskey. I work for the City of Ann Arbor as the Solid Waste Outreach and Compliance Specialist. Items that go into your curbside recycling bin are taken by truck to a materials recovery facility, or MRF. From there, they are sorted into various streams. The streams include paper, cardboard, plastic, aluminum, glass, and cartons. Once they're sorted there, they are taken to secondary markets. Our secondary markets are regional and are very strong. In those secondary markets, they are turned into goods. So for instance, the paper and the cardboard may be turned into toilet paper. When asking yourself if something is recyclable curbside, it's important to think about recycling's role. Recycling is a means to provide materials to industry. Industry wants clean streams. There are 3 questions you can ask yourself to simplify this. The first is my material cardboard, aluminum, glass, a carton, or paper? If the answer is yes, then it is most likely recyclable curbside. The second question is, if it's plastic, is it in the shape of a bottle or in the shape of a tub? If the answer is yes, then it's most likely recyclable curbside. The last question is this material smaller than my fist? If it's smaller than my fist, it's likely to fall through the cracks of the sorting machinery and end up as trash.
Now that we've heard the general guidelines for recycling and answered some of those kind of nagging upfront questions, we've got some great questions that have been submitted by some young Ann Arborites that our experts will help us answer.
Inquiring minds want to know, can I recycle this glass jar?
Glass jars, they are fully recyclable in a curbside recycling program. Ask that, of course, the materials be emptied prior to recycling. If there's a cap on it, especially a metal cap, if you could remove that, throw that in separately. Make sure it's rinsed. But glass is probably the single most recyclable material in our material mix because it can be recycled an infinite number of times and saves in the neighborhood of 75% of the energy to make a glass jar out of virgin material. So very recyclable, and encourage you to continue to buy glass products and to recycle them.
Okay. What about this? Can I recycle this cardboard box?
Yes, cardboard and paperboard can be recycled, and they are turned into things like other cardboard, other paperboard, or toilet paper.
What about this pizza box? It's a little funky.
Pizza boxes, if clean, are fully recyclable, but pizza boxes that are kind of coated in grease should not be put in your curbside recycling bin and really are not appropriate for recycling in general. However, greasy pizza boxes can be composted. So assuming you have a curb cart for compostables, you are welcome to put that greasy pizza box in your compost bin for composting.
Plastic silverware?
Unfortunately, plastic silverware, dishes, including cups and plates, is garbage. You're better off to use reusable silverware, cups, and other dishes.
Can I recycle this plastic cup?
So plastic beverage cups, those should not be included in your curbside recycling mix, nor should they be saved for recycling at the drop-off station. There are so many different kinds of those plastic cups with different chemical compositions. Some of them may end up being recyclable, but many are not. Many are contaminated or still have liquid in them. And ultimately just kind of present a quality control problem in trying to effectively market the other plastics that we're collecting. And so ask that you really try to seek out alternatives to the plastic cup with reusable cups, paper cups, but to really avoid the use of, and certainly don't set them out for recycling.
Can I recycle these wooden twigs?
Sticks cannot go in your recycling bin. These can go into your backyard composter if they're small, or your curbside compost cart if they're small.
Can I recycle this empty juice box? What about the straw?
Okay, so juice boxes and milk cartons. I don't have a juice box with me today, but it's the same kind of material as a milk carton. Both of these materials can be recycled in your curbside recycling container. Both have a mix of paper and plastic, and then on juice boxes there's actually a little layer of aluminum as well. But all of those different materials can now be separated from one another, and each can end up being recycled on the back end. So they are fully recyclable in the program. You can ask to remove the cap from a milk carton and then crush it as best as you can. And then on juice boxes, just make sure you've squeezed out all the juice and remove the straw before putting in your recycling container.
Can I recycle this plastic water bottle? What about the cap?
For plastics, it's important to look at the shape of the container. All bottle-shaped plastics are recyclable. If you screw the cap on, it will also get recycled. Make sure the container is empty.
Okay.
By the way, plastic water bottles get turned into things like other plastic water bottles and clothing. For plastics, it's important to look at the shape of the container. If it's in the shape of a tub, like this container, it's recyclable. However, the top, which is flat, is not recyclable. It'll end up going in the paper and contaminating the paper.
Can I recycle this plastic bag?
Plastic bags. Plastic bags are not recyclable in your curbside collection system, in the single stream system. They are recyclable. There are multiple locations at many retail outlets, so it is recyclable, just not in the curbside mix. Provides a huge problem at processing centers. The plastic gets wrapped up in rollers and so on. It creates a lot of problems. So not good in the curbside program, but can be recycled at specific locations.
Inquiring minds want to know, can I recycle this junk mail?
Anything that you would consider junk mail that you would receive in the mail, with the exception of like film, plastic, some magazines get wrapped in, any paper product that you would receive in the mail is fully recyclable in the curbside program. Whether or not it has a envelope or a window, cellophane window or not, does not matter. Stamps on them does not matter. Even if it has staples, does not matter.
Can I recycle this big ball of foil?
Aluminum foil is recyclable curbside. First, clean it off, then compress it into a ball that is bigger than your fist. This means that it won't get lost in the machinery.
This can has a deposit on it, but they're not taking it back right now. Can I recycle it?
Aluminum cans are definitely recyclable in your curbside container. By the way, aluminum cans and aluminum foil get turned into other aluminum cans and aluminum foil. These are infinitely recyclable.
What about this wire coat hanger?
Coat hangers. Couple different kinds of coat hangers, the metal coat hanger and the plastic coat hanger. Plastic coat hangers, reusable, both of these are reusable, obviously. Plastic coat hangers should not be put in recycling, are not recyclable at all. So if it is broken, you can't give it away, it has no other use, it should be thrown away. Metal hangers, again, reused if possible, should not be included in your curbside program. It has the same problem as plastic film or plastic bags in breaking free, and then the thin strands of metal ending up getting caught in the equipment. So should not be included in your curbside mix, but can go in scrap metal containers at the drop-off station and other select locations.
What about this eggshell?
Eggshells are not recyclable in your curbside container. However, these can go in your backyard composter or in your compost cart. All food scraps, including meat and bones, can go in your compost cart.
Well, folks, thanks for joining us for Talking Trash with the Sierra Club Huron Valley Group. We want to see how you're reducing your waste this summer, so follow us on Instagram or Facebook and show us what you're up to. A huge thank you to everybody who helped us make this video: Jennifer, Brian, Kiara, Logan, and Donovan. We really appreciate all those questions and all the great answers that we got. So again, we're the Sierra Club Huron Valley Group. Join us at sierraclub.org. Happy summer!
Recycle Ann Arbor operates a drop-off station, 2950 East Ellsworth Road, corner of Ellsworth and Platt Road in the southeast corner of Ann Arbor, that accepts the regular mix of curbside recyclables, but also accepts a lot of materials that are not part of the curbside program, but that can be recycled, including hardcover books, styrofoam, plastic film, electronic waste, light bulbs, etc. We also have a opportunity there for bulky waste, concrete, wood waste, compostables. So it's kind of an all-service white goods, appliances. So it's an all-service drop-off opportunity to recycle materials as well as to dispose of those things that can't be recycled, to do so responsibly.